Hey, listeners. My name is Elisha, the founder of the Witnesses podcast. It's so beautiful to have you listening to our podcast. And I want you to know something that means a whole lot to me. Thank you for tuning in. And one thing I love to tell all of our listeners is it's not just about you listening, but listening to understand. Understanding is the most important thing. So important. So, you have to listen, learn, and practice. Thank you so very much and happy listening.
Hi, Keldamuzik. It's so nice to have you on the show. How are you doing today?
I am amazing, Elijah. Thank you so much for having me. I'm happy to be here.
Beautiful. I love that. Okay, Keldamuzik, oftentimes I love to talk about the essence of this show, which is to invite
hmm
amazing guests, amazing guests like
hmm
Keldamuzik. What a beautiful stage name to come talk to us
Thank
about
you.
their their triumphant stories, because we believe that in our audience there might be someone who are stuck up in a situation that Keldamuzik came out of triumphantly. So by those people listening to you speak, they might actually pick an information from your words, from you, that might lead to their transformation. So it's all about transforming lives, transformation, transforming lives. That's basically the essence of this show. Alright, Keldamuzik. Within the next few minutes, I want us to get started with your story, the challenges that you faced, and how you overcame them. Then afterwards, I've got some beautiful questions for you. You're an artist, a musician, an actor, entertainer, all of this stuff. Beautiful, beautiful. So I'm going to be asking some questions about that, but let us get started with your story, the challenges that you faced, and how you overcame them. All right, over to you, Keldamuzik.
Yes. So, I started being in the entertainment business when I was a kid and going on auditions as a young African American girl. I had braces, and then even before that, there was always challenges because I'm Black. And so going on auditions and go-sees and trying to get agencies to represent me as a child actor, it was difficult. And then as I got older, yeah, I got braces, and that like took a turn for the worse, because it's like no one didn't want to hire me for anything, because it was during that time where it wasn't normal for kids to have braces at my age if you wanted to make it in Hollywood. And so what I did was I just continued to hone my craft. I kept going to acting and modeling school, eventually started taking vocal lessons. And as I got older in my teens, I realized you're probably a better artist than anything. And I was writing a lot of poetry. I was writing I was writing books on like notebook paper and stapling it together and calling it like the dog that ran away today. And yeah, so that's when I started recording hip hop music. I started recording hip hop music at the age of 19 and released my first album when I was, I think, 20, 21. It was called Shut Up, Listen. And I just got so much inspiration and so much support, because everyone's like, you can rap. It was so funny. I just talked to my uncle the other day, and he was like, did you know when you were 12 years old and you were in my kitchen and I was making you and your brother dinner? He was like, you said, Uncle, I want to be a rapper. And I rapped a verse for him with whatever, but I was just talking some dumb mess, nothing that made sense. And he was like, "Okay," he was like, "You can do this. Now get your parents' support." And I did. And I got a lot of support. And I cut my first album called Shut Up Listen. That was in 2005, and I released it in 2006. The challenges that I faced at the time were there were no female rappers at that time. Foxy Brown, Lil Kim, The Brat, all of them had did their thing already, right, in the early 90s. And so I'm trying to get someone to sign me in 2005, 2006, and everyone was just like, we don't know what to do with a female rapper. We don't know how we would market or promote you. We don't know what we would do with you unless you have like a huge budget and you're trying to come out as a pop star first and release pop music. And I said, well, that's not what I want to do. And I remember just speaking to different labels and different production companies. I was telling them, like, look, an artist is an artist, regardless what kind of genre of music they do. They should be appreciated for their art, for their work. And all I kept doing was gigging from 2006 to 2008. I was just doing showcases, performances. My first performance was at the Octopus Lounge. And let me tell you this little quick story. It was in Pacifica here in the Bay Area. It was in the suburbs, but it was a DJ by the name of DJ Rick Lee. He was one of the head DJs of KMEL, one of Bay Area's, the only Bay Area's largest radio station, and then 94.9 and a couple others. But he was hosting artist showcases in Pacifica. And I was the only female rapper to come up. And I had all dudes surrounded by me, but that was my first performance. And someone advised me, they were like, okay, if you're feeling really nervous about this, have a drink or two. And so I had a couple drinks and I was watching all the other artists perform and I got a little too drunk, and that was on purpose because I was really shy. And so I kind of stood in the back of the room and I was kind of hiding so the DJ couldn't see me. But really, the DJ, he was waiting for a female rap artist to come on stage because there was nothing but males. And the room cleared out. The event was technically over. And then I came up on stage and performed in front of 10 people. But you know what? That was good practice for me because I'm like, I don't think I need to be performing in front of 100 people right now. So a few weeks later, when DJ Rick Lee had the showcase again at the Octopus Lounge, female rappers being in the game, I came up on stage and I gave it all I got. And everybody, gave me a standing ovation and they loved me. So from there, I just kept doing shows. I ended up touring in Tokyo with R&B singer Lloyd from Murder Inc. I've toured the Caribbean with are you familiar with Jacques Cure? No? Okay. So he's from Jamaica. He's really popular in the Caribbean and certain parts of Africa and certain parts of Europe. But I went on tour with him in Antigua. And then I opened up for Kirk Brown in Barbados and then a couple of other artists in Antigua. And then my career just took off from there. And from there, it's just been nonstop to where I'm just expanding into other areas in the entertainment industry, from acting, producing my own films, producing my own podcast. I have a TV show on Tubi called Diva.
Such an inspiring story. I love that. Yeah, you
Thank
got to
you.
clap for Keldamuzik.
Yes. Thank
Beautiful.
you.
Yeah. Okay, so shall we dive into the questions now, Keldamuzik?
Yes.
All right. So the very first one, I want you to talk to us about mental health awareness. You got
Yes.
that?
So mental health is really serious. And let me tell you why. And this is just the smallest thing, but I have a Nordic track treadmill and 2 years ago, I was on that thing every day for like an hour. And then the next year, it was 45 minutes. And the next year, it narrowed down to 30 minutes. And when my treadmill broke down, I kind of just fallen into this, not really a depressive mode, but just, I don't need to work out anymore because all I'm going to do is mess up my treadmill. All I need to do is eat right and do stretches every day or whatever. And so when I did get my treadmill fixed, I didn't want to get on it for like a whole year. I just kind of, I don't know, I just became like non-active. And so I gained a lot of weight, and then, COVID came and I was just eating every day, like 3 full meals, if not more a day, just gaining weight. And I saw it, and other people seen it too. Like, damn, you can put on some pounds. You know what I mean? And I just became like lazy and too relaxed and didn't want to work out anymore. And I'm relying on my natural genes that I have of thick thighs and a big butt, and you know what I mean? But really, it's like, no, I needed to be working out. And I was telling myself, damn, mental health is real. And not to mention, I have anxiety. I have really bad anxiety. I've had it since I was a kid. I don't know where it came from. I never had any traumatic situations in my life at all. It was just like a natural thing. And it still happens till this day, where I'm laying in bed and my heart will start racing really fast. My stomach will start turning. I'll get pressure in my head sometimes, and I'm just like, where is this coming from? And I have a therapist, and I'm proud to say that a lot of celebrities have therapists. And I talk to my therapist for an hour every week, and we're just trying to get to the bottom of, where did this anxiety come from? How can we help eliminate this anxiety from your life? But really, it's like, you're not human if you don't have anxiety or some type of mental illness. And I'm not saying that in a bad way. I just mean it's natural for a human being, for our brains to think differently, for our brains to be a bit unstable. And that's just kind of what I was going through. And my therapist was teaching me different breathing exercises, yoga, meditation, and it's really, really been helpful. Like, I would tell anyone, hey, if your doctor says to, get on medication, do it. But at the same time, you should be trying to help yourself naturally by exercising every day, at least 30 minutes, reading a book or reading an article online. Just keep your mind focused on something that's going to keep your brain calm and not think too.
Beautiful answer. Okay, the second to the last question, Keldamuzik. Um, hmm, this says, what separates you from other artists or entertainers? Get that?
You know what? What separates me is, I would just say that, nothing separates any of us. We're all in the same game, same industry, making the same music. Yes, some of our lyrics are different. Some of our um, topics, our concepts are different. But I would just say, stage wise, what separates me is, I love to entertain. I don't need a bunch of people behind me. I don't even need dancers or anything. Like, I can entertain a crowd just with myself. You know what I mean? Because I love entertaining. I love receiving expressions from people's faces, and them getting to know who the diva is, who Keldamuzik is. Like, that's why I call myself a hip hop entertainer now, because it's just more than just music. It's about performing. It's about giving people their money's worth. Why did they come pay 25 to $50 to $75 to $100 to come see you? It's because you're there to entertain. And it's not just about performing music, but talking to your audience, relating to your audience, sharing your experience with your audience, and being able to just captivate their interests and resonate with them based on some of your experiences. So, in a way, I think that's what kind of separates me from other artists. But at the same time, we all know when it's time to get on stage. We all know when it's time to get in the booth to make music.
Beautiful. Okay. Concerning lyrics, can you talk to us what your lyrics are about, the nature of your rap and content and all of that?
Yeah, so what I mostly talk about my lyrics is I'm just coming from a female's perspective, right? And it could be any topic. We could be talking about relationships, family, just life in general, right? Situations that we all have gone through. I have a song called Shut Up Listen on my very first album called Shut Up Listen. And I was just talking about how I grew up during my teenage years. You know, I wasn't attractive. I had braces. I had buck teeth. I had acne. I used to wear my hair in a bun. I used to wear baggy clothes. I didn't care what I looked like. You know, I wasn't the it girl in high school or middle school, and I didn't care. I was just like, hey, as long as I'm living and breathing, I'm healthy, and I'm trying to become someone in the future. That's all I was worried about. And that's how I feel that I could relate to my audience, because there's a lot of female tomboys out there that grew up like me. I played soccer for 7 years. They used to call me Bloody Shins because I would make sure to tear a chick down on the field. You know what I mean? Like, that's what I was all about. But at the same time, I wanted to become an entertainer, and I wanted to become this pretty girl and, you know, wear makeup and dress really fancy and everything. But like I said, I just try to write authentic music.
Okay, so in conclusion, Keldamuzik, let's say there is one piece of advice you like to give to anyone who is aspiring to be a musician, an actor, entertainer. What would that be? And let's say there are some ones listening who would like to reach out to you, learn more about your music, and you get it? How can that be possible?
So the best thing is to do a lot of research, keep up with other artists that are in the same genre as you. It's not about copying what they do, but it's about taking notes. And it's also about networking. You need to be at every event where they say, you know, if there's a flyer out there and it's locally in your area, where it's like, hey, come to this artist showcase, come to this mixer, come to this meet and greet for this other artist that's signed to a major label and that's about to, you know, go big. You need to go and support and network. That's how artists are made. Artists are made based off their thought process, their mind, their just being able to become friends with people in the industry and build relationships. It's not about the music anymore. It's not about the image anymore. It really is about who you know, what you know, and how you know to go about pursuing your career. So the best advice that I would give is network. Network your ass off. We have social media. We have distribution companies that are placing artists on platforms across the world. There's no reason why you cannot be successful. So networking, whether it's on social media, in person, whatever you have to do, network. And don't ever act like you're too big to collaborate with it.
Beautiful. I love that. Okay, so how can they reach out to you, learn more about your music and all of that?
Yes, so you guys can find everything on my website, keldamuzik.com. That's KELDAMUZIK.com. You'll find my music videos there. You'll find my latest releases. You'll find You'll find the link to my talk show, which is on Tubi, called Diva Talk Tonight. You'll find info about my podcast called Diva Talk, which is on iHeartRadio, Spotify, iTunes, all the major outlets. And you'll be able to keep up with all my future performances and appearances. So
Beautiful. That's going to be the end of the show, Keldamuzik. Thank you for your time. Thank you for honoring the invite. It means a whole lot. Thank you.
thank you. Kiss it.
Thank you for tuning in to this incredible episode. Your support means the world to us, and we truly value you. We look forward to having you join us for the next episode. If you enjoyed what you heard, please consider rating and reviewing us on Apple Podcasts. Your feedback is greatly appreciated.